Welcome to the Wokest Warren, where we have the Wokest Discourse. Tonight it is snowing and cold as hell outside, so I am staying in reading a book. I am still reading, I always get the title of this book wrong, Who Paid the Pipers of Western Marxism by Gabriel Rockhill. And I learned something cool that I wanted to share with you. I kind of knew that George Orwell was like a double agent. I've heard it said many, many times that he turned over a list of radical thinkers and writers that he knew to the British intelligence to spy on. So he was a traitor. But was he really a traitor because he actually believed in this shit? Or maybe he didn't believe in it, but there was a woman whose first name was Celia. I forget her last name. Anyway, I have a theory that this woman was like the character Julia in 1984. So Julia is the one who says, if you keep all of the very small rules, you can get away with breaking the really big ones. So he was in love with this woman and he wanted to marry her and whatnot. And she worked for this intelligence agency. And so he got a list of names to give her of his friends. So his friends would get spied on. And in exchange, his career was wildly promoted by both the CIA and British intelligence. Now, Animal Farm on its face is anti-Soviet. Okay, so it's not like they had to like twist his arm to write something anti-Soviet. He was probably going to write Animal Farm anyway. But the reason that it sold so many copies and that we were forced to read it in high school, I say forced, but I actually really enjoyed it. I know that my dad went to school in the 1960s, and Animal Farm was on his required curriculum in high school as well. It was a mass brainwashing campaign. The government wants you to think badly about the Soviet Union. It was the Cold War. It was a psychological war. So anything they could do to turn you away from the Soviet Union and make you think the Soviet Union was bad, that was what they were going to do. So they disseminated Animal Farm all over the world. They reprinted it. They got the foreign publishing rights. They translated it into 20 different languages and sold it all around the world. Now, I suspect that shit like this still goes on in America with right-wing book publishing. Because have you ever read any of these books? These like, who are the guys that put these books out? I forget their names right now. You know, the ones that have shows on cable TV. They all put out books. If you actually pick one up and try to read it, you're going to be like, you're not going to get through the first chapter. You're going to be like, this is so boring. They're not good books. And I know because I've read them. And you wonder, like, who is buying these books? And I thought, well, maybe people are buying them like for Christmas gifts, you know, like you have some right-wing uncle, you don't know what the hell to get him, so you get him some Fox News commentator's book for Christmas. I mean, undoubtedly, a few of them get sold that way. But no shit, most of them are bought by PACs, political action committees. When Trump Jr.'s book came out, this was during his first term. During Trump's first term, Donald Trump Jr. published a book, and that book went immediately to number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list. Nobody read this book. How did it get to number 1 on the list? Well, PACs bought warehouses of this book. Political action committees put in orders for tens of thousands of these books. They had so many of them, they did not know what to do with them. And this is a known fact. You can look that up. But this is another thing you can check for yourself. Now, I am a bargain shopper, and I'm also a bibliophile. I love to read, and I love to, collect cheap books. Well, I used to. If you look in my living room now, I have almost no books in here. Because I can't see anymore, so I read everything on ebooks. So I'm like, there's no reason for me to have all these books laying around that I can't even read. But I used to be able to read, like 10, 20 years ago. And I would always look in Goodwill, thrift shops, anywhere that you would find old books dusty on the shelf, because you could just really get some gems sometimes. Well, I noticed at Dollar Tree, the books always sucked. If you look in Dollar Tree, they have books there for $1. And they are the most right-wing bullshit ever. It'll be like a biography of Gerald Ford, or like Ronald Reagan's ideas about foreign policy or something. Something that no one needs to read ever. Go to Dollar Tree, tell me if they still have those books there, and thanks for listening.